Hey everyone, welcome to Mountain Beast Radio. Justin Chernopeski here, along with
Doug Mackay.
the one and only. Well,
No, actually,
it's more likely that I'm the only one and only out of the two of us.
Why?
There's only one Justin Chernopeski. Like that last name?
It's true. Actually, there's another Doug Mackay. Remember I showed you that screenshot of that documentary about Robert Pickton? He was one of the detectives. Same name. Wild. Made me feel like maybe the Earth is flat and everything I know is a lie.
Speaking of, today's episode, we're talking about flat Earth.
We're not talking about flat Earth. We're making fun of flat Earthers.
We're discussing flat Earth in a civilized manner.
No.
Yeah.
No. There's no civilized manner to this.
And I should state that neither of us believe the Earth is flat. We are strongly...
We're intelligent.
Yeah. Anyways.
We read books.
I don't even know where to begin because, it's hard for me to even keep it together.
Honestly, this podcast is going to be so uninformative and it's just going to be us railing against.
Dude, the furnace is so loud.
Yeah, well, too bad. You get to hear my furnace because it's cold in here. It's winter in Canada. If the furnace doesn't kick in, we die. Get in your igloo.
Anyways.
We're just going to talk about how insane people are.
First off, can we go over these YouTube videos we just watched?
Yeah. Did you know that Tesla knew the Earth was flat?
Apparently.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. He developed free energy because he knew the Earth was flat because of some electromagnetic bullshit. It was a whole bunch of nonsense, essentially. This whole free energy thing that's been going on for the last little while Tesla wanted to make free energy or make energy free. But, just wasn't happening because ching-ching on the power bill, baby.
So, these flat Earth believers, they're one of their big arguments is, they'll watch, ships on the horizon with, long telescopes, and they'll be like, yeah, if you zoom in really, really far, the ships will never, disappear. They'll always be on the horizon.
How do they explain the fact that, if
they
you...
do disappear.
Yeah, and if you just look at a ship going away, it's just going to disappear.
The Earth is really big, too.
The Earth is friggin' gigantic.
You're not going to see any curvature at all.
No. From
the ground.
No.
Or even from a certain height.
More than a mile, like that Mad Mike guy or whatever that wants to launch himself into a mile up. In a steam-powered rocket. What is this, Victorian Britain?
He's a big steampunk fan.
I'm just not a fan of conventional energies. Steam-powered's where it's at.
Clearly his brain is stuck in a time when they thought the Earth was...
Yeah, that was before Victorian London and all that. That was before Christopher Columbus. If Christopher Columbus... Okay, first of all, I want to know how they think the globe is no globe. I want to know how they think, the land masses are just laid out. Because, I'm frustrated already. Christopher Columbus knew that if he sailed west, he would eventually get to India. He just didn't know that North America was in the way. Right. That was the only problem. So I'm actually I'm just gonna keep the Flat Earth Society website up on my phone.
This website is the silliest thing I have ever seen. I think
it's probably one of the they got merch. First
off, they have Shaquille O'Neal on the website, and they're using his title as a doctor. Yeah. So apparently he's a doctor in
He's got a doctorate in education, which means that...
Nothing. It means nothing.
No, it's... The doctorate of education is... educational leadership in a doctoral degree that teaches seasoned educators and professionals specific research-informed leadership practices and prepares them to appropriately apply their learning to their own workplace and leadership roles.
Let's just
So
say that he's not a scientist.
no, nor is he like
They're
a
putting
doctor in the sense of like
that
what a
title
doc-
on his name to make him sound like
Yeah. So here's a
super
quote.
credible.
Here's a quote from Shaquille O'Neal. According to the Flat Earth Society, it's true. The Earth is flat. The Earth is flat. ... So listen, I drive from coast to coast, and this shit is flat to me. I'm just saying. I drive from Florida to California all the time, and it's flat to me. I do not go up and down at a 360-degree angle. You can't go at a 360-degree angle. You're already 360 degrees is where you are. Okay? So much for that doctorate. Anyway, and all that stuff about gravity. Have you looked outside Atlanta lately and seen all these buildings? You mean to tell me that China is under us? It's not. Oh, sorry. ... It's not. The world is flat. That's one of their refutable sources. Here's another one. There are three ways to manipulate the mind. You read, or what you see, and what you hear. In school, first thing they teach us is, oh, Columbus discovered America. But when he got there, there was some fair-skinned people with long hair smoking on that peace pipe. I thought fair-skinned meant white.
That's what I thought, dude.
Native Americans are darker than I am.
Well, he's black though.
I guess that's fair. They're fair-skinned in comparison to Africans, I guess. But Columbus wasn't black.
No.
Anyway, that's besides the point. So what does that tell you? Columbus didn't discover America. No kidding. He was the first one from Europe to discover America, but there's already people here. But they weren't like telegraphing it to like London or Spain or any other place in Europe where they were like, hey guys, there's a continent over here. FYI. Like, give me a break. So that one is also credited to Dr. Shaquille O'Neal. Here's what else we got on this site. So about the site. So this is the home. Oh, I should name the site. It's tfes.org or theflatearthsociety.org.
It's very culty.
This is the home of the world famous Flat Earth Society, a place for free thinkers and the intellectual exchange of ideas. This website hosts information and serves as an archive for flat earth theory. It also offers an opportunity to discuss this with the flat earth community on our forums.
I am curious to know how many subscribers to the channel are flat earth believers.
Well, we'll find out because they're not quiet.
It's like if you do CrossFit.
Yeah, you got to tell people. Or if you're vegan,
Mm-hmm.
you can't just not tell people.
No.
You know? You got to...
Otherwise you're going to accidentally eat meat sometime.
Yeah. But also, you got to
Gotta
hold
brag.
it over people. You
Well,
gotta
yeah,
be
you gotta
like,
make
I'm
them
better
feel-
than you because I don't murder animals. Sorry, I like bacon. Give me a break. So, they got a wiki here, which is their information repository for all things related to flat earth theory. A great entry point for newcomers, so let us check it out as we are newcomers.
Oh, this is awful.
This website is dedicated to unraveling the true mysteries of the universe and demonstrating that the Earth is flat and that round Earth doctrine is little more than an elaborate hoax. Now,
No.
as a person who cries hoax quite a bit, personally, the one thing that I have never been inclined to be like, well, that's nonsense, is the fact that the Earth is round. Because I've been on a plane. And I mean, that pretty much ends that argument at that point.
Yeah.
Like, so, let's see here. Much of the experimental evidence for a flat Earth is provided by Dr. Samuel Burley Robotham, a 19th century lecturer who traveled the Isles of Britain giving lectures at many prominent universities of the day. His experimental evidence is very easily reproducible and requires only access to a long body of standing water and a little trig to conclude that water is not convex. That the surface of the Earth does not curve as round Earth doctrine mathematically predicts? Knows? I think you forgot the word knows, because we know. We didn't predict it. We know it. Anyway, Other experiments require only a stick and a plumb line. Each of the experiments are described in full in the flat earth literature. Oh, God.
What about explain satellites and the space station? Like, you can see them.
NASA is
They're orbiting.
lying to us.
No, they're
lying. NASA's lying to us. Sorry, I got my dog scratching. You rant.
I have nothing to rant about. The Earth is round.
Okay.
Satellites.
Yeah.
You can see them orbiting.
Nope. You can only see them go over you in the sky.
So do they go one way, and then when they get there, they go back?
So this is what they do. Okay. So
dude, you can
listen. Okay. This is. I'm entertaining the theory. Okay. So you see a satellite. It moves straight across the sky in front of you, right? Say you center it in the sky. It gets the other side, and then it creates like a D shape because it wraps back around the edge, around the ice wall, goes back to where it started, and then comes back.
Oh. How?
See, NASA.
Do they have some sort of propulsion to allow them to do that?
Yeah. Dude, NASA's hiding all sorts of stuff from us.
So how do they maintain the fuel to be making maneuvers like that?
Because the Illuminati has an unlimited amount of money and resources, and then they're working with the Freemasons, so then when they work together, they can control the media, they can control the education system. Listen, okay? It's a real fact. It's a fact that the world is run by a hidden organization of cult-like people who worship Satan and are trying to kill off the human race, even though we live longer now than ever before, and there's more people than ever before, but for some reason they're trying to kill us off, even though it's not evident in any kind of way. There's no evidence of it. Otherwise, there would be less people and we would be dying younger, but whatever.
What is the moon?
You already said, yeah, it's a hologram. Actually, it's not a moon, it's a space station.
Why are we still moving towards it?
Towards the moon?
That one went right by you.
Yeah.
It's also a Star Wars quote.
Oh, sorry. I haven't watched it in years.
Dick.
I watched all 6 in one day, and then I haven't watched a single Star Wars movie since. It was overwhelming.
I can see that.
Okay, so here's another tidbit. So throughout the years, it has become a duty of each Flat Earth Society member to meet the common round earther in the open, avowed, and unyielding rebellion to declare that his reign of error and confusion is over, and that henceforth, like a falling dynasty, he must shrink and disappear, leaving the throne and the kingdom of science and philosophy to those awakening intellects whose numbers are constantly increasing and whose march is rapid and irresistible. I read that like Hitler because that's how it comes across.
That was kind of scary. I peed a little bit. That was scary.
There's more. Sorry. That was a long sentence. Sorry. So, the soldiers of truth and reason of the Flat Earth Society have drawn the sword, and ere another generation has been educated and grown to maturity, will have forced to usurpers to abdicate. Will have forced the usurpers to abdicate. Like the decayed and crumbling trees of an ancient forest, rent and shattered by wind and storm, the hypothetical philosophies which have hitherto cumbered
Like an old English kind of
hitherto cumbered the civilized world, are unable to resist the elements of experimental and logical criticism. Sooner or later must succumb to their assaults. The axe is uplifting for a final stroke. It is about to fall upon the primitive sphere of the earth and below.
Stop! Right there. Sphere of the Earth. On the Flat Earth website?
Yeah, I think that means that they're like, we're cutting that sphere because it's not real.
Okay, but
and the blow will surely cut the cumberer down.
What about that thing we just watched about the guy who was in the Flat Earth and he said hemisphere?
Yeah, well, that's this. Okay, so the problem with the Flat Earth Society is that they have members all around the world. Let me say that again. The Flat Earth Society has members from all around the world. Around the world.
Round.
See, they need, if they want to talk shit, they
All
need
of
to
flat
get
the earth.
all the flat the turtles back. They really need to get new like words, because our words are designed to fit the reality of what we're living in. That was a really interesting little speech of it. It's
You
really
should
like
start performing like Shakespeare.
yeah.
Plays and stuff.
Like they really went into that little paragraph there where they're like,
very like
I pictured a man on a podium like Hitler, you know, shaking his head.
yeah, but like 5,000 years ago.
Yeah. So we got some frequently asked questions on the Flat Earth Society.
This is basically a review of this garbage website.
Oh, and all of their beliefs. First question: is this site a joke? Let's have a gander. This site is not a joke. We are actively promoting the Flat Earth movement worldwide.
Isn't that like a Star Trek symbol or something?
I don't think so. That's the United Nations emblem. Closely resembles the Flat Earth map.
Sure.
We actively promote the Flat Earth movement worldwide. There are admittedly several non-serious Flat Earth posters, but they're fairly easy to identify. What evidence do you have? Coming in hot, hitting them hard, grilling them. All right, the evidence for a flat Earth is derived from many different facets of science and philosophy. The simplest is by relying on one's own senses to discern the true nature of the world around us, because humans are obviously the best sources for information, using only our eyes, ears, mouth, nose, fingers, and our memory. We have no conclusive evidence that humans have terrible ways of seeing things because we're so small compared to everything that is so big. It's never been disputed that in the past we believed that the stars were actually lights shining through the ceiling of the Earth, letting heaven's light shine down upon us when the sun disappeared. That was never proven to be wrong. Before, when people actually did believe the Earth was flat, way before Columbus, that was never proven to be wrong when Columbus decided to sail west to get to India and then landed on a different continent. It was also never proven on December 7th, Pearl Harbor. I don't remember the year.
Like 1941 or something?
Possibly. I remember December 7th, so I think I get points for that.
Was it 41 or 43?
It was 40-something. Pearl Harbor.
We're in Canada. We're sorry.
Yeah.
We're sorry.
We're sorry that
You know
happened.
what my favorite thing that they say is?
You'd never let me finish my
No, because this is outrageous, and I have to say it. Well, if the Earth is like round and we're spinning around and there's like lots of forces against us, why isn't the water getting flung off the Earth?
Well, I mean, scientifically, it's called gravity. Mass, the mass of something, it creates a gravitational force. So, for example, if the Earth is in a vacuum, right, up in space, so Earth is it's a massive planet, and when mass, when I mean, any type of mass has a gravitational force. If you stand by a mountain, that mountain has gravitational force. You just aren't pulled to it because the Earth is much more massive in general than that one mountain, so it is a higher gravitational force. There's actually places, the Hudson's Bay actually has a lower force of gravity than most of the rest of the world. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah. True fact. Check out I believe it's called The Secrets of the Earth on Netflix. And they talk about it. It's because it has something to do with like the thinning and the thickening of the crust or something like that. I was sick when I watched it. I was barely conscious, but I remember hearing that. So, what I was going to say...
a pizza has crust, and it's flat.
Yeah, until you pick it up by the middle and it folds over. But anyway...
because of gravity.
Yeah. So, what I was going to say about Pearl Harbor, I wasn't just going to say that and then just leave it there.
Well, I really cut you off there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Pearl Harbor, people are like, I don't know if you guys have seen that stupid thing where it's like, how did the Japanese people fly from one side of the earth to the other? And it shows like it was like back in that day, planes couldn't fly that far, and it shows a line going from Japan straight like west on the full map, like unfolded, and it goes like at my family's home. It goes way, it goes like westwardly, I guess, to get to America. So it crosses like over, like by Australia and all that stuff, and like over Africa. Sorry, I'm stuttering a lot because my family's home and I'm losing my train of thought. But so obviously they went the other direction. Okay, they went over the Atlantic Ocean. They didn't fly. Wait, no, sorry. They went over the Pacific Ocean. I'm not great at geography. They went over the Pacific Ocean. Obviously, they didn't fly over the Atlantic Ocean, which is like 3 times the friggin' flight. And they never not once mentioned an ice wall, which we haven't mentioned yet, but there's supposedly an ice wall around the flat Earth. Not sure why. Not real sure why on that. But maybe we'll find it on this site. So that, and then on the other hand, so you might be thinking, well, if they flew from Japan to America by going over the Pacific, then how do we know the wall's just not on the other side of Japan or whatever? Well, it's because we, as North Americans, fly over the Atlantic to get to like London or Africa or other places like that. And not once has anyone claimed to see an ice wall. I've never seen a picture of an ice wall, even though flat earthers have been asked repeatedly to get a picture of the ice wall. Haven't seen one yet. Would love to see a picture of the ice wall, honestly.
Yeah, there's no evidence of any ice wall.
No.
There never will be.
No, because there isn't one.
And they also say that, like, there's not, like, a single photo of the Earth that's not a composite of a bunch of images, which is not true.
Yeah. Well, we know that NASA's lying about everything, so we can't really go off that now, can we? The evidence that they have for the flat Earth is derived from many different facets of science and philosophy. I think I read this part already. Oh yeah, right. They use their senses to discern the true nature of the world around us. So the world looks flat. Huh. Figured it out. The world looks flat. So yes, clever. It is. The bottoms of clouds are flat. That's another argument. The movement of the sun. Doesn't say what that has to do with it. It just says the movement of the sun. Apparently that makes the Earth flat. Yeah. These are all examples of your senses telling you that we do not live on a spherical, heliocentric world. This is using what's called an empirical approach, or an approach that relies on information from your senses. So, the most unreliable source of information pretty much on the planet.
Yeah.
Alternatively, when using some method, Descartes' method of Cartesian doubt, to skeptically view the world around us, one quickly finds that the notion of a spherical world is the theory which has the burden of proof and not the flat Earth theory. So there's no proof that the world is round. So perhaps the best example of flat Earth proof is the Bedford level experiment. This sounds fun. In short, this was an experiment performed many times on a 6-mile stretch of water that proved the surface of the water to be flat. It did not conform to the curvature of the Earth that round Earth proponents teach. Well, here's a fun fact. The Earth is bigger around in circumference than 6 miles. Like, magnitudes bigger.
What is the circumference of the Earth?
Why don't you look that up?
I shall.
While I answer this question, is flat Earth theory connected to a religion? It's not connected to one. It is one.
The circumference of the Earth is 40,075 kilometers.
I don't even know what that is in miles, but it's more than 6. Oh.
No, that's the moon.
Oh. How come the... Oh, that's in kilometers.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Is the Flat Earth Society connected to a religion? Flat Earth theory is neither officially nor unofficially associated with any religion. Throughout the ages, various religious institutions have championed a Flat Earth model for the world because they don't like science.
It's almost just as stupid as Scientology. It's stupider. Well, they're both pretty stupid.
Let's see, where have championed the Flat Earth for the world. Unfortunately, this leaves us with the vestigial thought that Flat Earth theory and religions are symbiotic. They are not. Even though many religions today, both mainstream and otherwise, still teach its followers that the world is flat. While they are not incorrect, believing in a flat earth isn't contingent upon believing in a deity or being a part of any religion. Oh, here's where we get the good stuff. Here comes the conspiracies, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, into the deepest, darkest recesses of the idiot's mind. The most common accepted explanation for why people have been into space and have not discovered the Earth is flat is because the space agencies of the world are involved in a conspiracy faking space travel and exploration. This likely began during the Cold War's space race, in which the USSR and USA were obsessed with beating each other into space to the point that they faked their accomplishments in an attempt to pace with the other supposed achievements. So, essentially they're saying... Russia said we got into space, and then USA was like, well, we went to the moon, and that whole space race, none of that happened. That neither of those things happened. So that's a thing. So where were we? Since the end of the Cold War, however, the conspiracy is most likely motivated by greed rather than political gains. Ooh, money. And using only some of their funding to continue to fake space travel saves a lot of money to embezzle for themselves. Ooh. So what they're saying is NASA's budget got cut, so they're trying to cut back on some expenditures. So they just say that they went to space, but really they're just like, yo, we'll take that couple mil that we get because USA doesn't like science. And yeah, we'll just hold on to that. I don't know who gets it, though. Like, did they split it among all the employees? You're so silent. That was a joke question. You had nothing to go back to. Here's a nice little disclaimer. In light of the above, please note that we are not suggesting that space agencies are aware that the Earth is flat and actively covering the fact up. They depict the Earth as being round simply because that is what they expect it to be. So instead of saying that they're covering up the fact that the Earth is flat, they're saying that space agencies don't even know. Which, I mean, come on. We have the Hubble Space Telescope. I watched a 3D movie in IMAX about the Hubble Space Telescope and, like, all the images that it captures. Leonardo DiCaprio is the narrator.
Dude, there is no Hubble telescope.
I wept.
There's no Hubble telescope.
I cried when Leonardo DiCaprio was talking at the end of that and it's showing the billions of galaxies and stars, and I cried because I was so moved. And now these people want to take that from me? Here's another one. There are many pictures on the internet and in other media depicting the Earth as being round. Why do these not disprove a flat Earth theory? Now, I will say this. Photographic evidence, as we know in Bigfoot and alien, it's not the best evidence.
No, but the Earth, you can't miss it.
It's hard to miss. It is really hard to miss. I mean, it's big. Like 40,000 kilometers around. I mean, it's large.
It's got some heft.
Yeah, it's pretty big. So why? In general, we at the Flat Earth Society do not lend much credibility to photographic evidence, so they're skeptical. It is too easily manipulated and altered.
Tell me this, Doug.
Got to agree.
Tell me this.
What?
If the Earth is spinning and it's a globe, why don't I feel it?
Well, that is a very common thing that you'll hear. We recently just watched a short little Vice clip of the Flat Earth Convention that happened on November 9th and 10th. where they asked the guy, or I don't even think they asked him anything. He was just like,
He was
if the
spouting
Earth is spinning and wobbling, how come I don't feel spinning and wobbling? I feel pretty rock steady. Well, Mr. Rocksteady, that's because gravity is holding you onto the Earth that is spinning at an extreme speed, but you are a tiny, insignificant,
the Earth is huge.
speck of garbage.
It's not like if
on
you
the
had
face of this planet.
If you had a basketball and spun it the same speed, obviously it's going to be like way faster, right? Like in front of you, but because the Earth is so big
and it's in a vacuum, so I don't know the science behind this. This is just what I remember from like Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about it and all that stuff. But like, so you're on a big old sphere, right? And it's spinning around real fast, but like the atmosphere that you are in is moving like with the Earth.
It's like when you're in a car.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a fly flying in a car?
Yeah, it's not like it's getting blown back.
No. It's just cruising. Like, it'll land on like the roof or whatever, but it can still like fly all the way around.
Yeah, because the car kind of has its own like
the
atmosphere almost.
Well, it's not. You're not feeling the effects of the movement of the vehicle.
Yeah.
So we're in the vehicle, and the atmosphere is like it's like the windshield. Honestly, all that stuff that I just said is probably wrong. I honestly can't remember. All I know is that there's a reason that we don't feel it, and scientists know what that reason is. So look them up. I'm not a scientist. I just regurgitate information that I've heard, and sometimes it comes out as complete garbage.
What we have to talk about is how easy it seems to be for when like some kind of crazy idea comes out. People are so easily like
persuaded.
Yeah, and willing to like believe it.
We said it. I said it in the Bigfoot thing.
I guess, yeah, we did kind of go over it in that
People
podcast.
want to believe things, okay? I mentioned in the Mountain Beast Mysteries episode that I was in, episode 11, that I have a family member who doesn't talk to me anymore because of an argument. Now, that same family member, I don't want to say that she's gullible. Like, I love her. I do. And I miss talking to her, but I think she hates me. But she believed she believed almost everything that you told her.
Yeah.
As long as it wasn't real. Like, so for example, she was one of the I mentioned it earlier that the Illuminati is trying to kill us and wants to like make humans die off or whatever, get rid of all these people, but the contrary evidence to that is that there's more people now than there ever was before, and we live longer than ever before. So, I mean, that pretty much discredits that whole argument right there. That wasn't enough for her to believe that we're actually doing better now. Also, she believed that Obama was the Antichrist. And when Donald Trump got elected, I said, hey, remember how you thought Obama was the Antichrist? How come the Armageddon thing didn't happen? The end of the world? And she went on the defensive immediately and didn't really have much to say about it. She believed that, I mean, there's a whole list of things. She believes in the Illuminati as like this hidden group. Yeah. Just all that stuff.
I'm sure there's like secret societies and stuff though.
Sure. I mean, there's like whatever you believe, okay, you believe it for a reason. Now, a lot of the time, the reason has nothing to do with evidence. It has to do with what you want to believe. That's just that's just a fact of human life. One of the reasons that I think that's a fact of human life is that because in Canada, we have I don't want to say a great, but we have a pretty good educational system, right? We are somewhat taught about critical thinking, but not to the extent that I think is necessary. In America, from what I've heard from like news sources and other podcasts I listen to, the educational system in America doesn't really teach critical thinking, which might be why they have like, I think it's like 70% of their population is like into the Christian religion or Catholic or biblical religions anyway. And I mean, I hate to say it like this because it sounds like I'm just saying shit to be mean, but like in the most common, like the highest religion, the highest rates of religion, population wise, are in populations that have like not a great education system. And I think it's because we're not taught how to think critically about things. We are told something, and if it comes from someone that we believe is a refutable source, we just believe it, you know? I mean, Alex Jones from InfoWars has a huge following, and he's a friggin' psychopath. And people believe everything that dude says. Like, again, the person that doesn't talk to me in my family anymore loved Alex Jones. Thought he was, like, the smartest dude on earth. And believed everything he said. Sent me videos constantly of, like, what do you think of this? And I'd be like,
I think it's a guy talking.
I think it's an idiot. And I think he's got way too big of a following. But that's the thing, is, like, anyone can get a following, you know? It's just a matter of how they, like, the following is usually of like-minded people. The person who commented on the video saying that I was in an echo chamber of skepticism or something like that. I understand that terminology, and I do get it. Like, I don't want to say I'm in an echo chamber because I listen to, like, a lot of other, like, outside views. I mean, I'm best friends with a guy who's, like, actively trying to find evidence of Bigfoot and stuff. So I don't personally think I'm in an echo chamber. But that's the thing, is like we lock ourselves into these groups of people and ideas that are what we believe, you know? Like, yeah. we want to believe what we believe something because we want to believe it, and we find other people who do believe that, then we, you know, associate ourselves with them because it's like, well, you guys will accept me. One of the people in the Vice video that we watched was a lady, and she said, I came to the convention because I can talk to people here and not be, like, laughed at or judged. She said that she couldn't handle the rejection of someone not believing what she believed. And it's sad to hear that, but I don't think it's uncommon. Yeah. Like, when someone doesn't believe what we believe, we get defensive, i.e. the Bigfoot podcast. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that per se, because I understand, like, humans are emotional creatures, and sometimes it's embarrassing.
Well, they like to grab onto things.
Yeah, we latch onto our beliefs hard. Like,
it's hard to not.
It's because we identify with what we believe in.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a religious person, like you're a Christian or you're a Catholic or you're a Muslim or whatever, you define yourself by that, you know? I mean, even people who don't believe in deities define themselves as atheist. It's part of our identity, you know? And just in the vein of religion and like atheism and stuff like that, you can look to see that even people who are unsure have a name for it. Like, they're agnostic because they're not 100% sure, or they're spiritual, or they're like, we need these terms to define ourselves because we identify with our beliefs. And it was kind of like in the AI video podcast where I had talked about how, like, we're taught growing up that what we buy is how we identify as well. It's very similar to that. It's like all these things, our beliefs, our property, when in reality, the things that define you are your actions and mostly just your actions, really. Like, how you act is the definition of who you are, essentially. But there's all these other ideas that are pumped into us as, like, to be the individual, you have to identify as your religious belief and identify as what it is that you own property-wise. Like, you know, I'm a multimillionaire / asshole / president of the United States. Like, yeah. Like, these are all identifying factors, and we latch onto those because we are so protective of our identity. We're so passionate about our identity and individuality. So we that's why we get defensive when people come at us with opposing views. I mean, it's one of the biggest reasons why there's conflict nonstop, like all the time.
I feel like people that believe the world is like an awful place and like a shitty place like latch on to these crazy ideas because they desire so deeply that they want there to be like a better place, like to
and
makes them feel better.
I understand. Look, I am an atheist. That's not a secret. And I understand that religion helps people cope with like a lot of things, like death and the fear of death and all that. Like the T.J. Miller, who's a comedian, if nobody knows, he's hilarious, but he had something that he defined as a good atheist death. And that's a death where you know in your heart that nothing is coming after and you're okay with it, you know? But a lot of people just aren't okay with that, you know? A lot of people are afraid of what happens after we die because we don't know. And I think one of the biggest issues, too, this kind of went into a weird place, but, like, one of the biggest issues, too, is, like, people aren't uncomfortable without answers, right? So we tend to just fill in the blanks in the absence of like an actual answer. We just kind of put our own answer in there just for comfort. It's a comfort thing. I really think it is just like I need to feel better about the situation that I'm unsure of. So in the flat earth theory, you know, it's all these ideas of cover-ups and conspiracies, and I think that's another thing too, is like I think that people latch on to these, like, I don't think that, how do I say this? I don't think that conspiracy theorists are, I don't really know how to say this, so I might just scrap this, what I was going to say, but like, when it comes to this idea of like us being lied to and all that stuff, obviously there's stuff that we're not told, and obviously there's stuff that like civilians probably shouldn't know, you know, about like the military and stuff like that. But the idea of just like NASA or space agencies just lying that they went to space without have ever been there, and that like it's a formulation of false evidence to back up a false claim, and then you lock yourself in with other people that believe it so that you don't have to argue with anybody, because as much as we like believing in things, we don't like the conflict of defending those things sometimes, like I said, i.e. the Bigfoot podcast.
Yeah, if you're willing to like believe these things, you have to be willing to defend it.
Yeah, and you should have proof, tangible proof. I mean, one of the, I think it's Carl Sagan who said, extraordinary claims need extraordinary evidence.
Yeah.
You can't just make an extraordinary claim and be like, it's true. Like, you have to prove it. So, so this is their attempt at proving that the Earth is flat, is that everything that we've ever seen is a lie, which, again, you need extraordinary, like, okay, to say flat, to say the Earth is flat on its own is an extraordinary claim that needs extraordinary evidence. To say that space agencies have been lying for the past like 50 years is another extraordinary claim that needs extraordinary evidence. But there's no evidence presented. So
I still think there are things like that NASA does cover up and
I know, because you think there's aliens.
Well, there is aliens.
Well, there's aliens somewhere. Just don't know if they're here. So
you know what?
This was fun at the beginning, and then I got serious. I want to yell.
I have a story.
Okay.
This is gonna make me sound insane.
You are.
Slightly. When I was working at the hospital.
Nope, didn't happen.
I was doing a 12-hour night shift.
Prove it. Sorry. Stop.
I was doing a 12-hour night shift, and I was in charge of like.
Oh, I think you texted me that night when this happened. Is this the guy who said he was like abducted and stuff?
No, that was a different story.
Okay, sorry.
Anyways,
for no reason.
I was doing security, and I had watch over this one whole building. It was like an 8-story building. And anyways, I was in this office, and I was like watching these. I started watching YouTube videos about like I kind of stumbled upon it. It was like the flat Earth thing. Like I don't know how I got into it, but I started watching these fucking videos about flat Earth. And
These what videos?
These videos about flat Earth, and I was so tired, and like I was just exhausted, and I'm watching them, and I started being like, "Holy crap! Like stuff's so interesting. Like, what if the Earth is flat?" And I was watching these videos for like hours, and I'm like, "Oh my god! Like this is crazy." And then I just stopped for a second. I'm like, "Wait a minute. What the hell am I doing? The Earth is round." Like I caught myself because I was like out of it.
Yeah.
And I was almost getting like sucked in, and I'm like, no.
That's the
I
other
had to
thing
stop
too.
myself.
That's the other thing too. Is like a good persuasive person can pretty much prove anything. It's a good salesman, you know. So here's a fun one. This one I'm gonna rip into real hard. It's also worth noting that if a person were to look down at the Earth from high above, they would expect to see a circular shape where the sun's spotlight was shining. The sun is not a spotlight. The sun is gigantic compared to Earth, and the amount of light that comes off in every direction hits a good chunk of the Earth, while it doesn't hit the other side because... Why? Because the Earth on this side of the sphere is blocking the sun from hitting this side of the sphere. To think that the sun is a spotlight is to think of the sun as a flashlight. That's what they think the sun is.
It's an alien flashlight. Okay.
It's dark out in space. Someone needed to make a flashlight.
The other night, I was watching these videos about this like guy who claimed he was abducted, or not abducted, but like visited by aliens. His name was Alex Collier. Have you heard of this guy?
Mm-mm.
It's like back in the 90s and stuff. He was like big, but it was almost like Billy Meyer type stuff. Like he believed that we came from like the same star system as the extraterrestrials that Billy Meyer. Yeah. Anyways, he was saying that like gravity is caused by like the sun's rays and like all this crazy stuff, man. And he believed it, and he believed the Earth, or I think he believed in the hollow Earth theory and like hollow moon and like
so there's
all
a
these
couple
structures on the moon.
There's a couple hollow Earth theories as well, right? Like there's not just like the one.
Absolutely insane.
Well, yeah, there's one theory that I heard that we live like the Earth. So if the Earth was hollow, we don't live like in the middle of that hollow part. We live around the edge of it, like an inverted version of the globe. Like we live on like the inside of the curve instead of the outside. Well, then what's
the sky?
It's just the sky, bro.
That is the stupidest thing that I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's like one of the halo rings, you know?
When you mentioned that, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
Okay, so geography and related phenomena. So what does the Earth look like, and how is circumnavigation possible? So this will answer my question about Pearl Harbor.
I'm kind of scared to hear what you have to say about this.
As seen in diagrams above, the Earth is in the form of a disk, with the North Pole in the center, and Antarctica as a wall around the edge. This is the generally accepted model among members of the society. In this model, circumnavigation is performed by moving in a great circle around the North Pole. So, the North Pole is either always on your right or always on your left. You just... like a record player. You're just the needle on a record player, baby. Just going around.
No, the needle never moves.
Well, you know what I mean. Okay. The Earth is surrounded on all sides by an ice wall that holds the oceans back. Oh, God.
Game of Thrones, the wall.
It's like Pirates of the Caribbean 3. When they go to Davy Jones' locker, they have to sail off the edge of the Earth, and it's all cold over there. This ice wall is what explorers have named Antarctica. Beyond the ice wall is a topic of great interest to the Flat Earth Society. To our knowledge, no one has ever been very far past the ice wall. So someone has been past it, just not very far, and returned to tell of their journey. What we do know is that it encircles the Earth and serves to hold in our oceans and helps protect us from whatever lies beyond. Like giants and monsters. That's why Bigfoot's so hard to find. He's just crossing the ice wall every now and then.
No comment.
He looks so sad. It was a joke. So there's a nice picture of the proposed, but certainly not definitive, flat Earth. I mean, yeah.
That's so stupid.
Yep. Looks good. Looks good to me.
So, this is a disc and it's spinning clockwise?
I don't think we're spinning.
Well, then what's this shit here?
That's the ice wall.
Yeah, but the stuff coming off of it, that's almost...
That's just parts of the ice, man. It just grew out into the ocean. Like icebergs and shit. I think what the outside of that is that they took a picture from a map of Antarctica and then cut a circle and then put it around the edge.
So they believe we haven't been to space at all.
At all.
Or put satellites...
No. Dude, the whole space program is a lie.
So what are we looking at? Holograms?
Dude, that's not even us, man.
What is it?
It's nothing. It's just an illusion.
Who made it?
I don't know. Maybe
they
it's in
can
here.
Make illusions like that.
Maybe it's on there. Oh, we got a nice little animation of the day and night cycle. So the moon and the sun are directly above Earth, okay? And they also spin around the disk, opposite each other. You are so angry.
It's so hard to like get into this topic because it's so retarded.
Yeah, well, see, this is how I felt talking about Billy Myers. Like,
I guess
it was so ridiculous. I was just like, I'm not interested in this. See, this is at least fun for me because I get to like rip on all these ideas. It's fun. So the sun's orbit changes throughout the year. So we got the sun's orbit at winter solstice is farther to the outside. At equinox, it centers in a little bit, and then the summer solstice, it's closer to the supposed like the North Pole of the flat Earth. Day and night cycles are easily explained on a flat Earth.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See, the sun moves in circles around the North Pole. When it's over your head, it's day, and when it's not, it's night. So essentially, the sun not very bright. The light of the sun is confined to a limited area, and its light acts like a spotlight upon the Earth. Like someone's just holding a flashlight, just spinning it around over top of the Earth. Oh, God. The apparent effect of the sun rising and setting is usually explained as a perspective effect.
Okay, what I need to know to go forward from here is who made this system? If flat Earth is a thing, who created it? The government?
Like the Earth itself?
The Earth and the dome and the...
No, the Earth...
What is causing...
This is just the Earth, man. This is the... what the universe created.
Are you sure? They must think something else created it.
Well, let's see. Let's continue.
Yeah. I want to know.
Okay, well, here's a good question. How is there a magnetic field? Magnets can't be unipolar. While it's true that unipolar magnets can exist, this isn't a problem for the flat Earth. This is because ring magnets, which are shaped like, you guessed it, a flat disk, are capable of having radiomagnetization. In a radial magnet, one magnetic pole is at the center and the other is at all points on the edge of the magnet. A magnet like this can be found in loudspeakers and perfectly replicates what is found on the Earth. This is fun. As a passenger on an aircraft, how is it that I can see the curvature of the Earth? Quite simply, you cannot.
Are you serious?
It is widely stated that you would need to be at a height of at least 40,000 feet to get even a hint of curvature if the Earth were round.
No.
Commercial aircraft are not allowed to fly this high. They are only allowed to fly just under this altitude, 36,000 feet. On a good day, you can definitely see the curvature of the Earth from an aircraft. I've flown and
saw
it. In addition, the windows on commercial aircraft are small and heavily curved. Even if they flew high enough for a person to see curvature, it would still not be visible to passengers. Because, the shape of the window that you're looking out, the shape of that clear thing you're looking out of definitely affects what you're seeing through it.
Well, camera lenses are clear, but they can be heavily distorted.
But aren't they not like fish-eyed and all that, like different shapes?
Well, yeah, there's different shapes of the lens.
But you're looking out a clear window.
I know. All I'm saying is that lenses you can see through them and they're clear, but they can also be distorted.
If you take that off, can you actually look through it and see through it?
Yeah, but it's going to be all blurry and shit.
Oh, okay.
But there's distortion because it's so wide.
Right. Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, no.
I don't believe the Earth is flat.
Let me just restate. I don't believe the Earth is flat.
How come? Because there's gravity. When I put a pool table ball on this pool table, it doesn't roll around.
Let's let our listeners answer that question.
Dude, the Earth is flat.
Many weather patterns are created by the land itself. For example, rain shadow. Rain shadow is where somewhere on the eastern side of a mountain range, because weather/clouds travel from the west generally, is deprived of rain, not just once, but nearly all the time. How do you deprive something one time? If it's deprived, it's just not getting it. There's no number to that. Anyway, this is because the clouds are forced upward by the mountains, blocking their path and become cooler and condense, meaning water droplets form and it rains on or before the mountains, thereby not raining on the layward side. Other weather patterns are created by geographic positions, like the tropics being humid. They are surrounded by water, which is constantly warmed and evaporated. Weird. Every coastal place is surrounded by water. Well, not surrounded, but has water nearby. And guess what? They're all humid.
No shit.
Yeah, because of water. Good answer, guys. Here we get a scientific explanation.
Is it from Dr. Shaquille O'Neal?
Nope. Why doesn't gravity pull the Earth into a spherical shape? An engraving depicted by a medieval missionary who claimed that he reached the horizon where the Earth and the heavens met. Wow, they're going off of medieval art. Good evidence, guys. So, the Earth isn't pulled into a sphere because Did I say sphere?
Yes.
The Earth isn't pulled into a sphere because the force known as gravity exists in a greatly diminished form compared to what is commonly taught. The Earth is constantly accelerating up?
What?
We're just shooting straight up like a rocket ship through space, baby.
Dude, I can feel it.
At a rate of 32 feet per second. My paintball gun shoots faster than that. Or 9.8 meters per second squared. This constant acceleration causes what you think of as gravity. Imagine sitting in a car that never stops speeding up. You will be forever pushed into your seat.
How do they explain, like, the tides?
Oh, it's because the tide follows because the sun and the moon. We watched the video, remember? The sun and the moon rotate, right?
Yeah.
And the tides just follow the electromagnetic force that the moon has instead of the gravitational force. And the tides just get pulled to that. Because if you rub a balloon on your hair, right? Get it all staticky up, and then turn on the faucet and hold it by, it pulls the water. So essentially they're saying that if that balloon is the moon and it's going around the Earth, its electromagnetic field is pulling the water along with it.
What if?
They're wrong?
No, what if in the end we find out the Earth is flat?
I will shoot myself in the chin.
Blow your chin off?
Just straight up. Chin to the top of my dome. If the Earth is flat, I will kill myself.
Or we'll just make a podcast, apologizing to the flat Earth community. Okay.
Nope. I would rather die. What the imagine sitting in a car that never stops speeding up. You will be forever pushed in your seat. The Earth works much the same way. It is constantly accelerating upwards, being pushed by a universal accelerator, UA, known as dark energy or etheric wind.
Etheric wind.
Sounds mystical.
Sounds spiritual.
What? There are also other theories of flat Earth thought that maintain that the Earth sits on an infinite plane with the sun moving overhead. Gravity works much like it does in a round Earth model, and the Earth will never form into a sphere because the plane is endless. What? Objects cannot exceed the speed of light. Doesn't this mean that the Earth can't accelerate forever? We're getting deep now. Due to special relativity, this is not the case. At this point, many readers will question the validity of any answer which uses advanced, intimidating-sounding physics terms to explain a position. However, it is true. You just explained why flat earthers believe that NASA is lying, because they don't understand the science. Your argument as to why we don't believe you is why you don't believe NASA or space agencies in general, or scientists, or people that went to school and learned about things that you can't comprehend. And
the school systems,
Well, it's controlled by the Illuminati.
Yeah.
We're taught what they want us to know. We're indoctrinated from a young age, and then we grow up to be mindless sheep that just follow the herd. I mean, that's just their quick little Q&A session that they have, their FAQs.
Or as we like to call, facts.
No, frequently asked questions.
Oh.
Yeah. That's pretty much the gist of the Flat Earth Society. No known pictures of this ice wall.
No pictures of a flat Earth.
No pictures of the Earth being flat. No pictures of the turtle swimming through space with Earth on its back.
Somebody's got to come up with a fake picture of a flat Earth.
I mean,
if NASA's faking photos of a round Earth.
Yeah, right? Like,
I want to see a picture.
I want to see what's in their miscellaneous section.
If they have people trying to launch themselves so high up to
miscellaneous has nothing.
Of course it does.
The section contains articles that do not otherwise fit into the listings but are still important for the flat Earth movements. There's none. There's no articles.
They should launch a camera up.
Oh, sorry, they got Flat Earth Society and logical fallacy. Let's click on logical fallacy.
Does that make sense?
A logical fallacy is a false argument by design. This is as opposed to a false argument by reason, which is simply a falsehood. If you have been linked to this page, it's most likely because you make a lot of these. Ooh, little undertone of aggression there, Flat Earth Society. I dig it. I like that they're assholes. But
they're
subtle.
that way because it's so hard for them to properly defend themselves.
Yeah, see, that's what that. There's a very good quote.
Like when you know you're in the wrong, you just get like defensive and angry.
Yeah,
right?
and there's a very good quote. I don't know who said it. I saw it on a meme one time with a very
or
attractive,
as we like to say, meme.
meme. With a
Wow, your dog didn't like that.
no, he did not like meme. But the quote was, "Don't raise your voice, improve your argument."
Mm-hmm.
And when you can't improve your argument because you have no evidence, you have no fact-based, reality-based proof of what you're trying to argue, you get loud to try and scream the other person down. That discredits you more than anything. And I understand that sometimes you get heated. And, I mean, I get it. It sucks to be wrong. I've been wrong. And sometimes, in the middle of an argument, I realize I'm wrong. And then I feel dumb. And then I have to do something called admitting I'm wrong, which makes me embarrassed. And my ears get red, and I get all flustered. And I usually stop the conversation and go, "Look, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry." Now, for a lot of people, that's hard to do because it's embarrassing and humiliating, especially in a large group of people, like a flat earth conference. Or a scientific conference that you went to protest or something.
Cult gathering.
Or a cult gathering. No one's ever wrong at a cult gathering until you drink the Kool-Aid. That's a really unfortunate term. Don't drink the Kool-Aid or statement. Because almost 1,000 people died in Jonestown. Like, that's rough. But anyway.
That's almost worth its own podcast.
Jonestown?
That's a crazy,
it's
crazy
insane.
story.
It's insane. But no, like, legit, it's okay to be wrong, and you have to fight the tendency to double down when you're wrong because your ego doesn't want you to admit it or feel that embarrassment of getting into a screaming match with someone and then partway through being like, "Shit, I am a moron." Like I said, I've been there, and yeah, it hurts. It hurts the ego a little bit, but it's good because it keeps you humble. And if there's one thing I can say about most conspiracy theorists and these fringe believers and whatnot, is that they have a hard time controlling their ego. And I mean, a lot of conspiracies are used to explain why life is so damn hard for them sometimes, because it's hard to admit your own mistakes. But just be wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. Don't fight it so hard. Like,
it kind of scares me that like this became a thing again, and like it makes me feel that anybody can go and like start something totally ridiculous.
You can.
And
You can.
people will follow you.
Absolutely, you can. If there's one thing, I mean, it's a big jump, and it might not seem related, but it is. And it's when you look at people who are like radicalized into joining terrorist organizations from like Western countries. Like, there's Canadians that have gone to the Middle East to join ISIS.
Yeah.
And it's usually because they're disenfranchised, unhappy, and like just not getting what they want here, or it's because they believe that like Muslims are being persecuted and wrongly discriminated against or whatever. And obviously I don't believe you should discriminate against Muslims, but I don't think you should join ISIS because you think they're getting discriminated against. Like, but that's the extremes of what people do when they like believe in something, or they're so disenfranchised with the society that they're living in that they just jump to a completely radical, insane other place. Like when someone comes up to you and is like, "The Earth is flat, and here's why," and you let's say you're not well read in science or anything like that, you might just take what they say as truth and then push it, like repeat it, right? It's the whole idea of, like I said when I said like about science. I don't study science, like I'm not a scientist, but I watch documentaries and read articles from the scientific community, and then I regurgitate what they say. And as a person, I understand, like, personally, I understand the scientific method, and I trust scientists in our society. And so I regurgitate what they say, well, as other people who don't necessarily trust that or hear something else that they prefer to believe in, like the flat earth theory, then they regurgitate that. And then more and more people, the word gets around, especially now with the internet. You can spread the word like crazy. And, I mean, I want to check their Facebook page and just see how many people are on it. Because, I mean, I don't even know how many people went to the convention, but
they had a big turnout. 9 people.
9 people. The Flat Earth Society organization Facebook page has 113,000 likes. Obviously, I think a lot of those are probably trolls, but I don't know. They might be the type of group like that kick you out if you fight against their beliefs or whatever. Oh, it's in London. Yeah, so it's 113,243 people like the page and 118,130 people follow it. Oh, George Bernard Shaw says, we are more gullible and superstitious today than we were in the Middle Ages. False. And an example of modern credulity is the widespread belief that the earth is round. The average man can advance not a single reason for thinking that the earth is round. Evidence based on the space programs. Also evidence based on the fact that you can fly around the earth. He merely swallows this theory because there is something about it that appeals to the 20th century mentality. Well, it also appealed to the 15th century mentality and the 16th century mentality and the other century mentalities. Like, God. Elon Musk had a great tweet that pretty much destroyed the Flat Earth Society in the second he pushed, post. And it was, why isn't there a flat Mars society? Why would other planets be round and Earth is the only one that isn't? It just doesn't make any sense at all. So B.O.B., the rapper / entertainer, created a GoFundMe to, I believe, launch his own personal satellite into space to see the Earth from space. Scott Kelly, an astronaut, said, show you the curve, here you go, 1 full orbit around the Earth. And took a picture of him on the International Space Station. This is what the Flat Earth Society said when they posted this Forbes article on their page. Astronauts simply don't understand that their word isn't worth anything anymore. This isn't the 60s. We don't fall for your nonsense. Come on. You're just going to straight up be like, we don't believe professionals anymore? This is a big problem nowadays, okay? It's a huge issue that people are, I don't understand the distrust, I don't understand why people are like, I'm not going to believe them. They went to school to study this stuff. They have been to space. Scientists have, physicists and, geographers and all that, no. Everything that human civilization has learned up to this point in these fields to prove what we know of the Earth, and people, just for whatever reason, just don't believe that anymore. Like, we're just tossing it aside. And it doesn't make any sense. It's irrational is what it is. It doesn't, like, we are so hell-bent on, I don't know what it is. Like, do they see those people as, like, elitist? Like, I understand that, for example, like, the argument or the constant head bashing between atheists and religious communities, because a lot of people think that atheists are egomaniacal and like are like elitist in their beliefs or whatever. And that's true. But I don't think a scientist is going to stand there and be like a true academic scientist, like Neil deGrasse Tyson, isn't going to just be like, you're a moron for not believing the stuff that I had to go to school and learn and like study. They're going to try and prove to you and help you believe it. Like, I don't know if you feel attacked. I don't know if as a flat earther you feel attacked, or anybody who just doesn't believe in like science or scientific evidence. I don't know if you feel personally attacked by like these organizations because you don't fully understand it. I think that's common. I do think that, like, if you don't understand something, you're immediately mad at it. Like, I don't understand. It's a serious issue that these once revered members of our society, scientists and doctors that aren't Shaq, like, like, people with legitimate educational experience and scientific evidence to back up what they're telling you. At one point, well, I mean, there was first the point where they were burned at the cross for going against the church, but then we got to a point where these people became like high-ranking members of society because like teachers could teach us things, like they were important, and we looked up to them because it was like, wow, like you are finding answers to like the world around us, and it was important information. And now for whatever reason, it's like we're flipping back, and now we're fighting so hard against it, and I don't understand it. I mean, and I say we in a general term. I don't think it's the mass majority of people, but a large number of our society is pushing so hard back against the academic fields that were once like looked at as like these awesome, important organizations. We need to get back to that point where we can look at these things and realize like there's a reason that we have different fields of scientific like exploration. There's a reason that society is continually moving forward, and like I said in the AI thing, continually getting better. And it's not because we're fighting against and pushing hard against these facilities and these organizations. It's because we accepted what they had learned and then continued moving forward. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm an hour and a half past my bedtime and I'm getting really tired, but I do think it's important to not just push like scientific fields to the side because you don't understand what they're saying, or you think that there's some like malevolent reason for what they're telling us. They're there for a reason. They've been there for a reason, and they've become revered in society over the past few hundred years because they've improved the quality of life of human beings on this planet. And I think that's really important to remember for everybody, not just flat earth society. Like, everyone should look to these fields of scientific inquiry and like be proud that we're there now, and like be excited about the forward momentum that we've got, and let it continue. And as much as we laughed and joked about this flat earth society, the fact that this insane idea could gain so much momentum in such little time proves that as a society, there's a big chunk of us who feel disenfranchised with the norm and who feel either outcast or looked down on, like, and maybe as society gets better, we'll see, like, people are more accepting to the societal norm. We won't have so many fringe break-offs of members of society. But until then, I think it's just like, this is just another piece of evidence in the idea that the belief system of a group of people who aren't taught to look at things necessarily critically is based solely on the want or the need to believe, and not on the evidence to make it believable. That sounded really sloppy coming out of my face, but I'm tired.
You've been preaching hard.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. I don't know.
You're gonna have a cult following.
That's all I'm gonna say for tonight. I'm exhausted, and I had a great time talking about it, but
I just woke up from a nap.
I put Justin to sleep.
You know who invented Doritos?
No.
The Illuminati.
For triangles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening to me rant. Again, I mean, I feel like it's going to get annoying to say it in every podcast, but I just want people to keep talking to me. So, Dear Doug, and I'll look for those comments and reply to them.
It gets lonely.
I do get lonely. I just want to talk with people. I like hearing other people's opinions and stuff, even if they hate me. So, yeah, Dear Doug, and I'll look for those comments. Also, if you don't say Dear Doug, I just assume that Justin is the one that you're talking to. So, I mean, Justin could probably respond to some of those, talk to his subscribers a little bit. I'm just kidding. He totally does. He's just a little behind right now.
I caught up.
Oh, did you?
More or less. It's hard.
Anyway, thanks for listening to me rant. I'll let Justin close this one out.
Thanks for listening. Sorry I didn't get much of a word in, but once Doug starts talking, it's hard to... I just kind of like to let him go sometimes. Just let him explore and see where it's going. It's good. He's very good at talking, and he's very smart, I think. Level-headed. But yeah, thanks for listening to this episode of Mountain Beast Radio. Stay tuned for...
whatever's next.
Stay tuned for more content.
Whatever's coming
next.
If
you have any specific topics you want us to talk about, put them down in the comments section.
Yeah, that's one thing we haven't
Mysteries,
gotten on the podcast
conspiracies.
yet. Anything, man.
Anything crazy.
And I mean, it's kind of like off topic, I guess, but if you guys want to hear any like true murder kind of stuff, man, I'm into that. Like true crime.
Well, we did the Amityville one.
Well, yeah. But any like true, like I'll talk about anything. But true crime, man, that's my shtick. I love it. And I mean, your followers are probably into it, but whatever.
No, they're like, screw you, we want Bigfoot.
Yeah. It seems to be what we've seen based on the viewership of our videos.
Yeah, we have to go deeper into the Patterson film.
We will. Like I said in the Mountain Beast Mysteries episode 11, we are going to dig into the Patterson film footage just because of the one comment that I got that I appreciated. Also check that out if you want to see me reply to the other comment that I got, which was less appreciated but still greatly enjoyable to read. So yeah, just let us know what you want to hear, and
listen to this comment I just got. This is actually on Wildman, My Search for Sasquatch, the documentary. I wish to make an announcement. If female Bigfoot willing, I will be first to procreate and create the first human Bigfoot hybrid. Please message me if you see a female Bigfoot nearby. Pixelated, blurry, shadowy images of it also welcome. In case anyone wants to tell me where to go to offer my gracious human sperm. That's the greatest comment I've ever read.
Oh man,
This guy's a champion.
That guy's brave.
Yeah. He's gonna get destroyed.
I hope he's packing heat. It's probably hard to find the G spot on a Bigfoot.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for listening, and good night.